7th day of NaNoWriMo. I have written about 1,000 words this morning, so I'm going to come back after work and write the rest, but that's all for me this morning. Good evening. It is after work now. I actually have already finished my writing for today, but I just wanted to check in. Today's writing went well. I decided to go with the strategy of focusing on one part of the story I wanted to tell today, and I was able to write half of a really fun chapter, or at least I think it's going to be fun. I wrote half of a chapter that's going to have 3 major scenes, and I think they're all kind of fun and add a lot to the story. It's kind of like a turning point where the 2 main characters in my story really get to reconnect with each other again. Yeah, so I'm excited to write more this week. I did reach the word count goal for today, so I wrote about 1,000 words this morning and then another 500 words tonight, and I'm going to see how tomorrow goes, so I will check in with you then. For now, I guess this is good night. Good night. It snowed, and because it snowed, it means that I'm going to be working from home today because I don't want to risk driving in the snow. Which also means because I don't have to commute, that's a little bit of extra writing time for me. So today I'm going to continue working on the chapter I was working on yesterday that I talked a little bit about. I still have 1.5 more scenes to fit into the chapter. I'm hoping that'll get me to the 1,500 words today, but we will see. Feeling pretty good this morning, I'm feeling motivated to write. I'm not feeling hesitant or afraid, so I'm gonna get into that now. Morning. It is day 9 of NaNoWriMo. Another 1,500 words to write this morning. I'm going to be finishing up the chapter I was working on yesterday, and then I think I'm going to jump ahead to whatever plot point catches my eye. I have my tea. It's about 7 a.m., so I'm going to get in about an hour of writing, see how far I get, and hopefully I'll meet my word count, but we'll see. That's all the writing I've done for today. So I reached my word count today, gonna continue again tomorrow. Something I've noticed about my writing that I want to work on going forward, and I'm not really sure how to fix it, is that I use the word but a lot, something 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 but something happens, and I use it a lot, and I'm consciously trying to avoid using it, but I'm not sure what the workaround is for it. And I also realized I just use the word but a lot in my own speech patterns, which I think is carrying over to my writing. Maybe that'll be something I can fix in editing later, but something to be conscious of going forward. I finished the chapter I said I was going to finish today, and then I started writing another chapter. I had way more to add to the chapter I was working on finishing this morning than I thought I would. So that's okay. So that was the bulk of my word count, and then the rest was kind of the start of another chapter. I have got to get to work now, but I will check in again with you tomorrow. It is, wow, it's day 11 of NaNoWriMo. Yesterday, I did not feel like being in front of a camera. Maybe Thursdays are just bad days for me, but I still met my word count for yesterday. It was a bit of a struggle, but the tactic of switching in between chapters and just writing the little bits I felt like helped me get to the word count that day, and I felt like I still accomplished what I wanted to tell in that moment. So today is Friday. It is a stat holiday for me, so no work today. Yay! But I am going to be spending most of the day out with my friends, so I'm going to try and meet my word count in the hour I have or so before I have to go out and meet them. Tomorrow I'm also spending most of the day out, so we'll see how much writing I get done today, tomorrow, and just over the weekend in general. Check back in with you later. Good afternoon. It is Sunday now. I have skipped Saturday and Friday. Both days just ended up being all day friendship hangout days, which was a really nice change of pace. It's been a long time since I've spent so much time with my friends, which means that Sunday, my typical rest day, I am now trying to write all the words I can. On Friday, I wrote about 2,000 words, so today, instead of writing 4,250 words, I'm going to be trying to write about 400 words. I'm taking in those extra couple hundred words I wrote on Friday and using them towards today, because I'm actually not sure if I'll meet the word count for today. I'm trying not to stress over it. There's just so much happening Friday and Saturday that I've barely spent any time at home, and I've got some other life stuff to get done before the work week starts again tomorrow. It's been a nice long weekend so far though. So I had a little issue come up with my Scrivener project. It's nothing wrong with Scrivener. It's totally my fault because I keep my files in the cloud for like the Scrivener files for my writing, and I didn't let them sync in between my laptop and my desktop on Friday. So I ran into the problem where I actually had some work not get properly saved and it was lost, so my word count is a little bit messed up. I tried to restore the files as best as I could. I don't know if I did it correctly, but I hope it's fine. I feel like everything I wrote on Friday is still there. I was able to add them back into my project. I've written about 500 words so far today. I'm having a bit of a slow start, but right now I'm sitting at about 20,000 words. So there is a small chance I will get up to the halfway mark today at 25,000 words, so we'll see how that goes. I've kind of spent this morning going back to some previous chapters and adding some details that I felt like were really crucial to the rest of the story, like some plot points I just happened to kind of leave out here and there. Friday, I really got into some of the kind of like finale part of the book, writing it. Like I jumped ahead and like those are some very emotional scenes, and now I'm feeling a bit lost on what to write next. Like there are lots of scenes I can pick and choose from, but I think definitely something I've kind of discovered as I'm writing is that even though I had the whole story planned out, as I'm going along, I'm like, oh, actually there's a gap here, there's a gap there, and I'm wondering how to fill them in. I know I'll figure it out, but I think what I'm trying to get at is I'm reaching a bit of a stage where I need to go back and do some more planning or tighten things up a little bit more. But definitely for today, I'm just going to focus on writing what I know and get that down. And if all goes well, I will be posting my footage of my 4,000 words here. I don't know, well, you're writing, do you ever just get stuck on what to write next? It's only week 2. I'm still determined to continue writing and to finish things off. I did spend the rest of yesterday writing those 4,000 words. I also took a very long nap and caught up on an episode of Love is Blind. So overall, I would say it was a good Sunday. I'm going to go over my total daily word count for you. On November 7th, I wrote 1,705 words. November 8th, I wrote 1,601 words. November 9th, I wrote 1,556 words. November 10th, I wrote 1,516 words. And on November 11th, I wrote 2,104 words. And then November 12th, the Saturday, I took that as my rest day. And November 13th, I wrote 4,193 words. Overall, my grand total at the end of this week is 23,865 words. So I am currently just shy of the halfway mark. Even though it's Monday, Little spoiler for you ahead, I haven't written anything yet, so I haven't reached that halfway point. Maybe today will be the day, we will see. This week I've been feeling pretty excited about what I've been writing. I think taking the tip of focusing on the story I want to write rather than the word count has really helped me get through this week. I feel good about my progress so far, and I look forward to seeing how the next week progresses. I feel like I rambled a lot in last time's video, so I'm going to try and be very concise with the 3 things I am taking away from this past week. Definitely trying to use but a lot less is one thing I'm going to be taking away. I said that I tend to use it a lot in my speech pattern, and I use it a lot in my writing as well, so that's something I want to avoid going forward, or at least find ways around it. The second thing I want to take away from this week that is kind of a silly one, but it definitely was relevant this week, is that I write way better when the music I listen to does not have any lyrics. The playlist I created to inspire me for writing this story has a lot of songs that have lyrics in them, and I find it really hard to write when I'm hearing words sung. It's like it conflicts with the words going on in my head, which I feel like I should have known before, but I think it definitely shows in these kind of longer writing sprints. And I've really been loving all those lo-fi channels on YouTube, so I'm going to link a few below for you to reference if you're also interested in those. I find it just really gets me into a groove of writing, and there's no interruptions, but I still get that kind of noise I need to be able to write. And the third thing is that I have a little bit more planning to do. I realize that some facts as I'm writing do not line up. Some timelines kind of don't make sense, or I didn't, like set a concrete time for certain relationships to happen and things like that. But I think that's something that's kind of revealed itself as I'm continuing to write. I'm gonna try and keep this in mind going forward. I've already tried to go back and fix some things, but that kind of got me into a little bit of a editing and nitpicking loop. So I'm gonna try and keep this mentality going forward. And rather than going back and editing everything now to make sure all the facts are correct, I'm making notes as I go, so I know that when I'm eventually in the editing process, I can tighten it up so all the facts line up correctly. And continuing into these next couple of weeks, I am really looking forward to the actual kind of more romancy parts of the novel where, we actually get some smooching, some touching going on, stuff like that. I have kind of been saving it. I wanted to build up and really get comfortable with the characters before I go ahead and write these scenes. It's been a long time since I've written anything like this. I'm a little bit nervous, but I am also excited to be able to bring these scenes to life going forward. And that about covers my second week of NaNoWriMo. Overall, I'm still feeling pretty good about the challenge, even though I have had those kind of low moments of slumps and not knowing what to write next. I am still going to keep with the challenge and continue going on. If you are doing NaNoWriMo as well, let me know how it's going in the comments. I'd love to hear how your progress is going and if there's any way we can support each other. You can also add me as a NaNoWriMo buddy on the website. My username is timewithnicole. I am doing my best to update my word count, but I forget. But I'm going to try and update it weekly going forward. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please leave me a like and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more videos from me in the future. I will see you next week with another NaNoWriMo vlog. Until then, bye!